Hello again, and welcome back to Diragu Games. Believe me, I really had no intentions to make two games last weekend. But I did, and it was absolutely crazy. But between the sleep deprivation and brain scrambling stress, I actually did have a lot of fun, and learned a lot about my workflow in the process. I thought if I were going to make a game for a game jam, I should try to make the whole process fun, and also actually make a fun game too, if I could manage it. I think it's said that over 85% of all indie game studios fail. I may be wrong about that percentage, but I know that there are more untold stories about failures than the few success stories in this highly competitive world. I've been making games as a hobbyist for a little over 4 years now, and when I first started I was bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and I was certain that I could do it. But here I am 4 years later, and between my day job and, well, the daily life stuff, let's just say I'm still learning. And me making my dream game is still a long way off. But that's a discussion for another day. Today, I want to share this. So I did a game jam last weekend, which started on Friday evening and ended at midnight on Sunday. The theme was minimalist, and there were unofficial bonus points if you made a game about pizza. Now, take a look at my game. You see it too, right? There's nothing really minimal about it. And I think this is the mistake that many of us make as game devs. I wanted to make a simple game where the player Violet goes to eat her pizza on the bridge over the koi pond. But her world was broken, and Violet had to collect pickups to repair the damage. The game kept track of the number of pickups collected and would show a bit more of the repaired world as the number of pickups increased. The mutant fish that jumped out of the pond were the only obstacles in the game. Nothing groundbreaking, just simple stuff to get more familiar with Godot's systems. I even decided that I would try to draw the level art myself using Critter, and I must say that is where I had the most fun. And even though I'm no artist, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. As I built the game, I started adding feature after feature because I felt that the game was not fun. I started questioning the very concept of the game and added a health system because why not? Maybe it would be more forgiving instead of just restarting the game after one hit. Then I added a timer because I thought that it would add more tension to the game. Then a pickup that would replace health as the health was depleted. And although all these features did add some value to the game, I still thought that something was missing. I was going to add a power that would make Violet invincible for a short time. But then I was like, hold up. Wasn't the theme of the game jam minimalist? What am I doing? Many times when we have an idea in our head and we try to develop it, we get carried away in our game design and completely lose sight of what we initially wanted to create. Adding feature on top of feature and building game mechanic after game mechanic until we're so far from the game that we wanted to create that we forget what the game was supposed to be at the start. What I should have done was just analyze the game idea, see how well it fit the theme, and how I was going to make my simple idea fun. At this point, I just wanted to scrap the game and just start over. But part of me really wanted to finish the game and submit it. I'd spent almost 2 days on this game, so I stopped adding features and added the finishing touches in the form of a simple instruction screen, sound effects, and music. I built the game, did some playtesting, fixed some bugs, and designed the itch page. By the time I had submitted the game, there was still 11 hours left for the jam. So I decided to take a well-deserved power nap. Now everything seemed a lot clearer in my head. I got something to eat and thought about the theme again. By this time, there were a few submissions, and after playing them, I had a better understanding of where I lost focus. I thought of the sandwiches I just ate, and the fact that I used a leftover piece of cheese and a slice of tomato from the chicken sandwich I just made to make a less complex but equally tasty second sandwich. And so Pick the Pizza was born. With only 4 hours to go, I got started and immediately fell into the same trap. Let me explain. You see, Violet loves pizza. In fact, she loves pizza so much that she picks off all the ingredients and eats them one by one. So the game loop was simple. click on the ingredients to remove them before the timer runs out. I added the score and the timer I made for the first game. But then the scope creep set in. I wanted to add messages if the player got certain scores, and add ingredients that would add more time back to the timer, and another ingredient that exploded and took out multiple other ingredients. It's like I just can't help myself. But with only 4 hours left to make this game, there was no time, so I just cut all that and focus on the main game loop. Now don't get me wrong, all those features may have added more fun and complexity to the game, but I believe that a big part of game dev, as a beginner, is actually the discipline to see a project to completion and making the deadline. I managed to finish the game, submitted and designed the itch page with 15 minutes to spare. I said all that to say this: if you're new to game dev like me, it's very important to understand. Keep your scope small. Try your very best to make sure that you don't fall into this trap called scope creep. Don't get distracted by adding feature after feature, and try to have fun and make your game fun. And speaking of fun, I think this is where my creativity is lacking by my current skill level. If only there was an easy way to add the fun code into the game. If you'd like to give my games a try, the links are in the description. And let's keep the discussion going. Let's talk about anything game dev related. Have you done any game jams lately? I would love to hear what your experiences were. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to hang out again right here on Ragu Games.